Back. Oh, you have to unmute. There you go.
That's better. Okay.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Whereabouts are you, Zach?
I'm near Rochester, New York.
Oh, nice, nice. So you know how this goes. Tell me your seeking story and what got you here.
So I guess uh I'm just a mild seeker, I guess I would say, compared to some.
Okay.
Um, just some experience with, well, I first got into just meditation, like transcendental meditation, took those
Okay.
classes. That was just my first kind of
Hmm.
foray into any kind of thing like that. And then later on, just some I had a spiritual teacher, a guru, I guess, learned some meditation practice, but never really got into it. I think, well, I think you know my wife. My wife's Nicole. That,
Oh,
that
Nicole, Nikki,
Nikki, yes,
Nikki. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah. So I'm just like I would say, compared, she was
yeah,
more of a seeker than myself.
yeah,
But yeah, those are pretty much all. And then I did get into like some a 12-step work a little bit, more the Al-Anon. She used to do a different 12-step
yeah,
program, but
yeah. Are you
so that
recovering?
I was not an addict.
Okay.
It was
All right.
just it was like I I seem to have a lot of addicts in my life,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
that
I'm
program kind
getting
of
I'm getting a lot of people in recovery. You know what I'm saying? That's booking one-on-one with me lately. It's nuts. Yeah.
okay. Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a thing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but I guess I know a lot of like really big seekers, and I guess I was never really one of those. So I guess
Okay.
what happened, I guess most recently, um, obviously Nikki is into this, and never really got into much, but I
Yeah.
was struggling a little bit a few weeks ago with some things, and she kind of just started, and I'm aware of what she's doing, but I can hear, like I would say, I would hear what she's talking about, but it wouldn't sink in. So I guess in a nutshell, what happened a couple of weeks ago is it felt like something sunk in. It
Yeah.
something knocked me, and
Yeah. Yeah.
my mind got like blown,
Okay.
and then we were able to like speak,
Yeah.
and I could understand. It was weird. I don't really know how to explain what really happened, honestly. So
Yeah.
that's why she said you should just talk to Emerson because
Okay.
uh,
So what was prior to that? What was what do you think triggered it or what do you think happened?
what happened. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so it's probably a culmination of things. I
Yeah.
just things have been boiling to a point, I guess, a little bit with especially how I do my job. I
What do you
I
do for
just
work?
I work for, well, you're in Canada, right?
Yeah.
So they probably call it your hydro. I work for the
Okay.
power
Yeah.
company.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. You guys are really close to me then if you're in Rochester, right? So
yeah,
yeah, it's
whereabouts? Sorry.
I'm in Toronto.
Oh yeah, yeah. three
Like an
hours or
hour and
so.
a oh, no, no.
Hour and a half from the border, right? Another
I'm
hour.
thinking about a different thinking of Buffalo. Buffalo is Buffalo's an hour away from us. So
Yeah, in Buffalo, and we're only another hour from there. So
there you
yeah,
go, 2 hours. There you go.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So close, but yeah. So
Yeah.
I work for the power company. I have a engineering type background, I guess,
Okay.
more. And
Yeah.
so uh Nikki and I think very differently.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure everything out. There's a solution to everything in my mind, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just kind of that engineering background
Yeah.
kind of thing. But so yeah, I work that. It can get real stressful. The
Yeah.
deadlines, long hours, all that kind of stuff. And I've always just been kind of fueled by anxiety. And
Hmm.
lately I've just been felt burned out. It's just like
Yeah.
complete burnout.
Yeah.
I just feel like I can't do it anymore. So that was going on. And we had so I come home, I'm just fried. You know what I mean? My brains, I'm
Yeah.
just whipped. And then we had some conversations about relationship stuff and
Yeah.
whatnot, and just got triggered, sent me into this
Spiral.
thought loop of
Yeah.
just awfulness. It was terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just started talking to her. Like she poked holes in all of my stuff. And I got into this. I've never felt better. Like when I I can't even explain what happened. That's why that's the
Yeah,
weird
yeah.
part. Like,
It just went directly into the thoughts, basically, probably what happened, right? So
yeah,
it's rather than it's almost like you just got really present all of a sudden.
yeah,
You're not
very
trapped,
present. I could,
not trapped in the loop of your anxiety or that kind of stuff. Yeah.
right. And then she even got me to see like, so I've been down with her whole thing about like what, that everything's just a thought and all that kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
stuff. And the me, and had thought that I had seen into that, I guess.
Yeah.
But then that came when at this moment, when the moment I'm talking about with like that clarity, it was like it became very apparent that I'd never saw any, that I can't even explain what
That's okay. That's okay. That's all right. That's
like
okay.
that I could finally see that like way down deep, like of what I thought that weren't thoughts, I guess what I thought was me,
Yeah.
all the things that make me. I never realized really, I could see at that moment that those are also just thoughts. I don't even know if that makes sense to you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Don't worry.
That
This is what I talk
everything
about
is
every
just,
day. Yeah.
it's just all that, like, I just had this feeling like I'm not, that all, everything that I thought it's all just thought. Like, it blew my mind.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if that makes sense to you.
It does. It
But
does.
that's
Yeah.
what it seemed
Yeah.
like to me.
Yeah. And then
Like, I
after
could
that, what
see through
happened?
it. What's that?
And then after that, what happened?
I mean, she was doing, I think, I can't remember what she was called. Like, I'm telling you, I'm a complete rookie at this. I don't watch your stuff on the
No
internet.
worries. It's okay.
I mean, I don't really know what I'm talking about. But um I think it was in inquiry. She was kept asking me what's, and I can't remember how to do it, but I just kept practicing that. And this is going almost been a couple weeks ago now. And what I told her yesterday is like, I almost completely got away from it already. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it felt, I was like locked in on it or some kind of thing for a while and was doing it. And then I get back into the
The-
routine, things get comfortable, the relationship stuff kind of was like, ah, that was just me talking, that's nothing. And so, um, yeah, I just kind of drift back into the old routine. So
okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. That was fascinating. How long did that last? Like a couple of weeks?
That good, that where I felt like good.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
almost. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And how about
Yeah.
now? What's happening now? You're
I
back to
feel
the
good.
old, or
No,
you're
no,
at
because
peace.
yeah, well, because we talked about something, a different thing the other day that kind of threw me off center like 2 days. So every time I get like knocked off center, that's the part I don't like. Like, I just want to like kind of like be cool. I don't want to have to have
Nikki's like a
someone.
wild child, and you're the structured guy, right? So
Yes, yeah, she
okay.
keeps me. Yeah, yeah. Basically, yes.
It's beautiful though.
Yeah, she keeps it.
She keeps you on your toes, basically, right?
Absolutely, always has.
Yeah, yeah, it's good. It's just really, you know what, it's you had a classic, like, you know what, in some circles would call like a first awakening, right? Some
Okay.
people would call it a glimpse. Some people would call it some realization, basically, right? But if you
Hmm.
look at that, something that happened there is never left. It's still here. You don't know what it is. No one knows what it is, right? It's almost like a silence or an awareness or something, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something. And then if
Yes.
I ask you, for example, what are you without language at this moment?
What's pardon?
What are you without language?
What am I without language?
Yeah, at this
Uh,
moment.
just yeah, like I guess I'd be. I don't know.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, I
yeah,
just this, I guess.
yeah. If you look at this is the same thing as happened before, because that was without language. That was almost the disappearance of your thoughts, basically, right? Or you, and then you
Yeah,
start noticing that you're just a language.
yeah,
Yeah. So if there's just this, you can't even talk about it because you have to use language, right? So what are you without language? So without language, there's no next, there's no past, really, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So what's the problem?
Ugh, it's so silly.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's mind blowing.
it is. Yeah. We
That's what I keep getting locked up on. It's like I had this like a great experience, and I'm trying to
yeah.
make sense out of it, right?
No, because you're trying to put languages to something. Because
Right.
yeah. So what
And
do you
then
without language?
nothing, I guess.
There
Yeah.
you go. Yeah. And it's clear again, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It's subtle though, right? It's very subtle.
Very subtle, but very,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
apparent, I guess, or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about it. I
Yeah.
can see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
It's brilliant though, right? Because it seems to be hidden, but it's just really, if you take away the language, then it can't be hidden.
Yeah. What a scam, or so. I don't even know what to call it. Uh,
Yeah. It's like the
wow.
language is like a prank, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the
Like awful.
reality, your thoughts, your reality is just language. And if you
Yeah.
take away that language, then what about beliefs? What about thoughts? What about you? What about Nikki? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Language. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Wow. No, yeah, that's the crazy part. And then when, yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just, yeah, my brain is always trying to figure out why
No.
it.
But what is a brain without a language?
I guess it's not a whole lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. What brain?
It can probably keep me alive, but yeah, I
But
don't know.
what even if you take away that language, what do you have?
I guess just instincts, right? Probably
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I need to use the restroom. I don't even, but you
Yeah.
don't need to
It's
speak.
just like everything just happens automatically. You just think that you're doing it, right? You just
Yeah.
think that it has something to do with you, but you really just are a thought. You're just language. Without
Yeah.
language, what are you?
And yeah. And
Yeah.
that's what I saw. That's exactly what I got to.
Yeah.
It's like
That this
where
is what happened 2 weeks ago, right? It's like, what the
yes,
hell?
like
Yeah.
pop, like yeah. And like I was saying, like I thought I had, because I talked to her about this stuff a lot,
Yeah. And
and
she's
I
good.
thought I,
She's quite clear. Nikki's quite clear too, right? So
I think
she had a non-duality channel. She talked about this before.
mhm,
And we talked last week, I think. I can't remember. I was supposed to
yeah,
tell her, sorry, I'm just all over the place. I'm supposed to talk to her again, but I don't check my Instagram that often, right? So I'll see a message and I'll completely forget about it a couple of
I
days
get
later.
I get the same kind of
But she
problem.
did mention the last. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get Zach to book something with you because something shifted there or whatever, right? So
Yeah, and
yeah.
that's
So
it's like you said. I was getting afraid I was going to lose it, but like you said, it never
no,
really left. But
no, it's always here. It's always here. All you have is language, right? Language will make it look like that you got it and then you lost it. So what's in
yeah,
between got it and lost it?
nothing.
There you go. It's just language, right?
Just the language. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's so. Why is it so simple? I can't believe it's almost like that can't be that. It can't be that easy,
Well,
right?
the
Or
language is trying to make it complicated because when you see that without language, you can't even say it. That simple. Yeah. It doesn't need language. It doesn't need an understanding. And then you're going to
huh,
start seeing that your mind is irrelevant.
that's
Crazy, huh? Yeah.
yeah,
What's
yeah. That
between
is
mind and no mind?
yeah. Nothing, right? There's
Yeah. Yeah.
well, I that's yeah. That stuff. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you have any tricks for? So I felt like the last 2 weeks were better, but I don't know if you have any experience with this. Like for me to do my job, I feel like I have to be anxious and cranked. You know what I mean? Like my
Um,
body can almost use
well,
like generate
this
a
is
net.
basically what this is not anything, but if I can position it, this is being present. So your job actually will be much better.
Yeah,
because you don't really have thoughts, thinking, am I doing this right or wrong or whatever? You're just present. It's silent.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit, I almost get,
I love the people I talk to. I have this um guitar player from a band. No, bass player, not guitar player. That's very, very good at what he does. And he goes,
Mhm.
how can I play? I have a concert coming up, Emerson. I'm kind of like freaking out right now because I don't have any. I'm like, you know what? This is the in between is actually where that art or that skill comes from, right? you know, um, this is where creativity comes from. This is where focus comes from. This is where,
Mm.
like, when people hit those birdies, saying golf, right?
Yeah,
It's between thinking and not thinking, right?
yeah,
When someone's composing a song, they're like, I don't know, it wrote by itself, kind of thing.
yeah.
Yeah. So this is like the in between is the focus. So I heard back from him. He had this massive concert in an arena or something, and then he basically said that was the best I've ever played. And he
Mm.
goes, I was kind of like petrified that I would screw up because I'm just in La La Land or whatever, right? He's just happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he goes, when the light came on and everything, he goes, it was the tightest he's ever played. I'm like,
Mm.
what? Yeah.
That's interesting.
Hmm. The
Yeah, I
mind
think,
is going to make it look like so. In between mind and no mind, there's just this almost like this unknowable magic that happens, right? It's like kind of like probably why you felt really alive for quite a while and the anxiety was gone, right? Because you went head on with the anxiety and saw that it was not really there.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I still was able to do my job
Yeah. There you go. So,
well, but like I said, as that time went on, things become intense. Something tricks me or tells me again, like, oh, that
you
you're gonna
lost it.
you're
Yeah.
gonna screw up.
You're going to screw up. What are you
You're
without
gonna
those
have
thoughts?
to.
What are you without language? That's why I said, what do you do without
Yeah,
language?
yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, should I bring you? Can you like walk around with me for a week or something?
I have a
My
person
step.
said, "Hey man, I have an extra room in this. He has this mansion." He goes, "You want to stay here?"
Yeah,
like
it's
it's
just so.
really, like it's really attractive, but no, I said, you will be disservice for you to be dependent on me, right? Because this has nothing
Yeah,
to do with me. I'm
right.
just, I'm just language, man, and so are you.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
It's just so silly. I thought I was going to convince you that there was some other thing, and you just throw that back, and it's like, oh, duh.
yeah. It's that simple. It's that direct, right? No
Yeah,
bells and whistles, right? It's just, what if you take away, you know, the language?
yeah.
Yeah,
If you take away the language, that's where my brain uses the language to just
that's right.
tell
But
this shit.
language is made up, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah. So are your
yeah.
thoughts. Yeah. Made up, made up, made up.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it just blows my mind. I don't even know what this. I feel like I have questions, but I don't know what to ask. You know. Uh, wow.
yeah. It cleared
So
up,
I
right?
was. Yeah, it's
It's
just.
like a fog
Yeah.
of language, basically. That's it.
Yeah. So much.
Yeah.
And then yeah, the other stuff that became apparent, or that I could see is like I just had this like vision of, I don't know, the real me or whatever you want to say. It was
Yeah.
just like a picture of me,
Yeah.
what I look physically like, but with like a straitjacket. Like I have all these,
Concepts.
yeah, the limitations I placed
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
myself or whatever that are
Yeah.
then there for since.
Well, even your vision, even the word straight jacket is just language.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just I guess like the picture I painted in my head.
Yeah.
Again, that's just a thought, but
Yeah. What do you
um,
without what do you without that language?
just
Yeah. Poof.
unbound, I guess, or
yeah. Yeah. Limitless.
limitless. Yeah, that's I
Hmm.
guess what the would have meant is that yeah, there's like somehow there's like limitations on me, like things I think I
Hmm.
have to do, or I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
probably conditioning, right? It's just stuff I've learned,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
fears that my parents had that get handed, all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. crap. Just
Yeah.
there's a lot of it, you
Stale
know,
language, the past.
stale language. But it was all that the stuff that I thought was me. You know, it makes up
Oh yeah,
me.
yeah.
Right.
This is more language, but I'll tell you a story, like like an analogy, right? So imagine your mind is a hoarder, and then you've hoarded so many things in your head, and one day, what I'm saying, it got cleaned up,
Mm,
and that's when it cleared up. But
yeah.
usually when a hoarder kind of like notices that, they're like, oh shit, you know what? I still need that rotting table outside. I'll bring that back. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit,
Yeah.
that dresser is an heirloom from my grandma or something. Bring that back, Or
Yeah. Yeah.
that console TV is from the 50s. I want that back, that kind of thing.
Yeah. We take back some of the
Yeah.
things.
So yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
that
what it
makes
is. But when you expose that, it's just all language. You're hoarding language.
yeah, that's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just can't believe that it's that simple. I like there's a fear in my mind that I'm gonna
Yeah. Yeah.
forget, but I don't
No,
know.
no, no. That's what if there's no next? It's language, right?
Yeah.
Then you're stuck here in
Yeah.
clarity. Yeah.
So like I'm just curious of this, like for you on a typical day, do
Yeah.
you have to remind yourself that, or is it just like, are
Oh,
you
it's
in a
just
place where
natural
it's,
right now. Or it's like I'm just really content. You know what I'm saying? It's like someone even asked me, do you still have thoughts? I'm like, well, I haven't thought about that.
oh
It
wow,
doesn't matter. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Thoughts, no thoughts, right? What's in between those? So there's almost like this presence. And when I do this job, my job here, you know what I'm saying? I'm
hmm,
just really in the in between, right? So it's very direct. You
yeah,
don't have to believe in what I say, but there's something here that I can't say. And that's what we're trying to.
yeah,
And that's what's epic, you know?
yeah,
Not what I talk about. My I'm just talking language, right? So we're
yeah,
going in between the lines, basically, right? So
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, it's crazy. Oh wow, I don't know, man.
Yeah. But yeah, my life is very simple, right? The mundane things are great. Even cleaning the house is perfect, right? So,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, I dig that. That's where, though, that's where I'm at now. It's like I had these thoughts, like, and I've had them for a while. Like, I'd really like to simplify. I don't even want to go to my job. I just wish I could find a way to just do things that
yeah,
brought
yeah,
me joy all day long. But I feel
yeah,
like I don't know how to do that.
yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah.
again, it's all just thought. I don't know. So there's
Exactly. You
still,
caught it. See, you're catching it now, right? See?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's still, yeah, yeah. I don't know how to. Yeah, if I was gonna make, and I know you're not like my therapist or anything. I don't have a therapist, but like if I was gonna make like a big, yeah, I feel like I'm responsible. We have two kids, you know what I mean? Like I'm the
Yeah.
sole provider,
Yeah.
the mouth to feed, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I feel like it just has to be like some a responsible decision of whatever I decide to do because I gotta think about them. But is that all just BS or
That's
I
just
don't know.
all BS. Yeah. Yeah. That's just a structure again, right? That's just language again, right?
Because
So
I'll probably find naturally just find a way to do it, or is that like should I worry
it's
about just
no, 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 because if you look at it this way, right? It's like, um, I use always this analogy, right? So all your life, you think that you've been driving this car. You took your driver's lessons, you follow the traffic, you're responsible, you park at parking spots. And then one day, you know what? You haven't had any accidents, but you've had a couple of U-turns and a couple of red lights that you have passed on. And you're thinking, am I a good driver or a bad driver? And then someone goes, hey, Zach, this car is a Tesla. It's been driving on its own. You've never
mm,
driven it. That's what I'm trying to point out. You don't have any control. What's
so it's
between
just
control and no control?
nothing.
Yeah.
So all this stuff's just been happening.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like I've had so much to do with it, but that's probably all just
Thoughts.
thoughts, and but man,
Beliefs. Yeah.
the stress and anxiety that probably are unnecessary.
Yeah.
A little bit
I
sad.
used to have panic attacks, man. I used to have panic attacks because, if you are a father with mouths to feed, I was a spiritual teacher with like thousands of people, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Um, and that I have to guide and everything. So I would be anxious. I'm like, I'm just bullshitting. I'm bullshitting. And I'm like, but I'm getting this lineage from all the teachers and everything. So my sense of responsibility was so anxiety driven that I would have panic attacks. And I'm like, here I am, a spiritual teacher. I'm having a panic attack secretly, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm like, okay. And then at one point I'm like, oh, I lost my enlightenment. Shit, 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 shit. How do I do this? So I can like went in a panic and started, doing meditations and eating, vegan, everything that you could think of, right? So
yeah,
my hell was driven by my thoughts of the
yeah.
next, the next, the next, the next, the next. And then when I was about to, I'm condensing the story. When I lost everything, went through the whole rock bottom ad infinitum. It was just kept on going to rock bottom, to rock bottom, to rock bottom. I had severe anxiety that I hid. And then one day I was about to have a panic attack. I just went directly into playing DJ. I'm like, I'm going to DJ because that relaxes me. And
Mhm.
then all of a sudden, kind of like what happened to you, boom, like I can't find my thoughts.
Mhm.
I can't find Emerson. And then all
That's
of the beliefs started kind of like, going down the drain. I'm like, oh shit, even that too, right? And then I was
yeah,
stunned for quite a while. I was supposed to do a month retreat and then I canceled it. So I had a place on my own and I was just really just dumbfounded. I could not say anything
yeah,
because everything that was coming almost like fizzled away. And I'm like, oh shit, I can't even think anymore.
yeah.
Yeah. It was almost self-correcting. It is just thoughts, it's just belief, it's just words. What are you
And then
without words?
not nothing, I guess.
Yeah.
What, especially in my mind. Yeah,
Yeah. What are you looking at without words, without language? There you go.
this. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to without. Well, I don't. Yeah, that's without words. It's really not. Yeah.
Yeah. you, you can't even go there, right? You're like, I don't know.
No. Yeah,
Yeah.
it blows my mind. Really.
Yeah.
Just look around. Wow. It feels like so much, but out of so little. I still feel like my mind. I can't wrap my head around something.
No, no,
Like
it's
I.
trying to go to the next, trying to go to next. What are you without the language of next?
Oh God
There
damn.
you go. Yeah.
I just man, it's so beautiful, I
It
guess.
is.
Wow.
Yeah. Where's Nikki? Is she around the house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just with the kids right now.
She's with the kids. Okay.
Yeah. I could go get her though. That's why I said, I go, what if I run out of things to say? I've never done anything like this.
You can get her if you like. Yeah,
She
you can
goes,
say
you
hi.
won't.
Yeah.
I might, but
Well,
I don't
it's
even.
inevitable for you. You have like a non-dual person in your house. And she knows
Yeah.
me too, right? So
Yeah.
we're ganging up on you. What are you without language, Zach?
Yeah. Well, that's what she said too. She's like, "Oh man, if he gets you going, she's like, you'll be able to get me too." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh man, I'm not looking to do that," but she jokingly said that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
If you look at your
Wow.
kids growing up, right, they didn't have language, right? And it's almost like going back into the to back you were before, that awe that as a child, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
When you
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
have, mouths to feed and a job that's complex. And, I in my early career, I was actually a communications, for a company that sold power measurement devices to hydro companies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All the stuff that we use, yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, um, currency stuff, like big transformers, basically, right? That
PP,
you
yeah,
would
current transformers and peak
current
potential
transformers,
transformers.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was my boss was a mad genius. He was insane, basically. Like
mm,
he went to Stanford, it was just insane.
yeah.
And and an alcoholic too. So it was here I was like 19 years old trying to kind of like, please my boss, and his wife is Filipina. That's why I probably got tired. I'm Filipino.
Okay.
And we just ate a lot of good food. That's why I stuck around, with the job. But he was insane. He was insane. He was just
Yeah.
a mad genius that so we went to all different, even in the States, we actually, tried to sell some of these power measurement devices to the States. So we would send samples, you know what I'm saying, in
Yeah.
boxes and everything and go to conferences and stuff. So I
Yeah.
kind of know your trade. Yeah, yeah, it's stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can be when
Are
they,
you an engineer?
yeah,
Yeah.
field. I work in the field though, so I'm
Oh, that's
out
rough.
in the power stations, like
Yeah.
doing commissioning, testing, troubleshooting, when things blow up,
Yeah.
like we're there. So then,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just, it can be really stressful, tight deadlines, working on when there's outages and it gets, I used to love it. I love the adrenaline. I love the
Yeah.
rush, and it's just getting, this is not, doesn't do it for me anymore. It just
Yeah.
feels not good.
Yeah.
I think it's like taking years off my life, probably. The
I have a friend. I don't know if Nikki has told you, but I have a friend that very similar. He was a what do you call that top guy in construction? Foreman. He was the top
forming.
foreman, right? So
Yeah.
his life was super, super stressed. We used to be best friends, and we kind of like had a falling. Like when I became spiritual, he could not relate to me anymore. And really I ghosted him because I'm like, you know what? And then so when I came back here in my town, here in Toronto, he basically said, "Hey, buddy, you know what? I know we haven't talked in many, many years, but you used to be my best friend. Can you tell me what happened?" So I told him the bullshit about spirituality, and then and I told him about this, dropping away or awakening or something. And I'm like, then I saw that there is no me. He goes, "What do you mean there's no self or whatever?" I'm like, remember when we used to drink, and one day you called me up and said, how did I get home? And I'm like, you drove everyone home. And he goes, oh shit, I blacked out. So I said, this is the same thing as blacking out
Mm.
because your body's still functioning, right? You're still driving people, although chemically induced that your brain blacked out and everything, right? From
Yeah, it
alcohol.
happened.
But
Yeah.
this is the same thing. I said, you don't even notice on a daily basis that you're blacking out doing your work, right? You're just doing it automatically, right? Especially if
Yeah.
you've been doing the same thing. And
Repetition.
repetition. And then we were drinking beers, and then he went to the washroom, threw up a little bit, and he goes, "There's no one here." And I'm like, "Yep, it's just a thought." I'm like, "Yep." So
Mm.
eventually, I'm saying because he was also kind of like really really stressed with his job. He has a little daughter, and he ended up, on the sideline, he started doing stuff that he loved. So he has a knack for carpentry. That's why he's a good foreman, I guess, right?
Hmm.
He started making resin tables for big corporations, and he would sell it
Mm.
for 10, 20 grand or something. He quit his job. He's doing what he loves, and he's booked for the next 2, 3 years now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he's at peace. He's only working 4 or 5 hours. It's
Yeah.
almost like a call to follow your bliss, whatever it is, right? To find happiness, because our
Yeah.
life gets really caught up in our ideas of what life should appear, um, of what life should be, when there's just this peace and clarity that you're longing for, right? And maybe it's whatever it is, or maybe you'll be at peace at work. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It could be that you're just content. You know what I'm saying? And you have a beautiful family. With how many kids do you guys have now?
Two.
Oh yeah, they're cute. I've seen pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they're cute. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. They're great. Yeah.
yeah.
The fan. It's
How old are they now?
6 and 3. So,
Oh, those are great, great ages too, right? Although I say
yeah.
that about every age.
No, it is.
Yeah,
They're a lot of fun.
yeah,
No, I really, I mean, I do get to spend a lot of time at home. My job, that's one good perk. I get a lot of vacation time.
oh, good. So how's like how often you get vacations now? You get like weeks?
Yeah, weeks. So I think I get it's like over 8 weeks off total. I get a year. So like we always take a month in the winter and go to Florida and stay on the beach for a month.
Oh,
So
that's right. Yeah.
There's some perks
Yeah.
with it, but when I'm there, it's
Maybe the thoughts is just making it like really miserable, right? You're trying to look
it,
for the next to the next to the next. Like, oh, when this is gonna end? I'm tired of this and everything. What if you're seeing it fresh again?
yeah, I think
Yeah.
that would definitely change things because yeah, I've got I was always I'm very I guess I don't like to toot my own horn, but I'm very good at my job,
There
and
you go.
I
Yeah.
use all those. I feel that the fear is I got there with all this stress and anxiety, all this effort, which I thought it was all this effort. Like what you're saying now is
Yeah.
maybe all that so shit was
No,
on me.
it's all shit. Yeah. Yeah. It's all languaging, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's the languaging is telling me I can't keep doing this without that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
how can I be the best
Yeah.
if I'm not doing it the way I always did it? Like
Yeah.
again, but yeah, like you said, that's language.
That's language.
But that's the shit that hangs me up. Those thoughts, I can get stuck on that part.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
it just blow up and turn into I'm into my next job and getting fired and a divorce. You know what I mean? Like I'm
Yeah. I
way
know.
out.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you
Like,
miss out you miss out what's in front of you, which is just, present, basically, right? It's peace.
yeah, really
Yeah.
not really ever
Yeah.
too much of a problem. Even
Yeah.
when the worst things happen, it's just really not.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just yeah, even just within
My
the last
my friend was having issues with relationships and he was not spending enough time with the kids because he was working 10, 12 hours, right? So
yeah.
he goes, my job did clear up. I liked it, but I just spent, on the weekends, he had this finished, unfinished projects. And then he made one and he sold one. And he goes, you know what? Let me take some time off work, that kind of thing. But he said he could have done his job properly, but he likes his job now because he spends times with his kids,
Mhm.
his daughter, not kids. Yeah. He has his daughter that helps him around the shop, and
Yeah.
kind of thing. So it's just basically simplifying and seeing, what am I without my language?
Yeah.
What is there without language?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Nada.
Nada. Yeah. It's funny, right? Because you don't have, although Nikki's around you, you don't have any interest in spirituality
No.
and non-duality.
No. No, I never I don't know. It just got me, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just crazy to do, dude. I did
One time I was like sitting down, like I was trying to figure out my whole life. I'm like, oh, it's just language. It's just a thought. My entire life.
that is
But it's
that is
beautiful at the same time. You know what I'm
it
saying?
is it is
It's
beautiful,
not
but
dismissing it. But it's also insignificant. And then
yeah,
there's something here that we can't say that becomes what's significant.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I it I think what's so mind blowing is usually my mind's blown by complex things that I can figure out. This
Yeah.
is
Too simple.
easy to.
Too easy, huh?
It's like it's so simple. I can't believe it. Almost.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Languaging again. Trying to figure
Languaging.
it
Yeah.
out. Oh my gosh. So that's is that like that's what like some I can just be aware of that like that like see that it seems like that snaps me right out of it if I just
Not even aware. What's awareness? Just in their language.
all right
Yeah.
my God
Just is. You know what I'm saying?
yeah
Yeah. Don't worry,
God
I've now gone crazy. It's been 8 years now of this kind of like, it just gets
feels
gentler and easier. Contentment, right? I'm
yeah
content. Yeah.
things
There's a lot
still
of
get
peace. Yeah. And also authenticity. You know what I'm saying? I you know what, like it's my birthday coming up, and me and my old buddies, you know what I'm saying, from 30 years ago are going out dancing tonight. So there's a whole
Oh,
bunch of
nice.
50-year-old guys dancing, you know.
Cool. I wouldn't have guessed you were 50.
No,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I'm
fun,
happy.
man. It's fun because I don't have any more um ideas of what freedom should be. So freedom just appears as it is. Sometimes it's just really, just like walking with my dog. Simple, very, very simple.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah. So the shift is not in the thinking, right? The shift is that I don't know. It's not the knowing. It's almost like I have no clue. And I'm
Yeah.
fine with that. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's when you say I have no clue, that's what that's something I was talking to Nikki about. Like that was like freaking me out. It's like my mind spent all this time making sense out of things and like compartmentalizing all this organizing of
Yeah.
things that I had to have an order that to make me feel like I have either some control or understanding of how, and
Yeah.
then like, and that's what I told her. I'm like, nobody, I don't, this is so fragile. Like in reality, all that stuff's just bullshit. There's like
Yeah.
nothing keeping this together.
No.
Like that
Yeah.
was freaky. That's like finding out, that's like being 30,000 feet up in the air and then looking down or something and being like,
Yeah.
holy, there's nothing got me here.
Yeah.
All these, I thought I had the
But there's no
safety,
gravity.
but there's nothing. You're just there.
So you don't
But
need a parachute.
right.
Yeah.
Right. But it still freaks you out when you first look down. You're like, because you didn't know that there was, you thought you needed something to keep you from falling, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense, but
Yeah.
uh, yeah.
Nothing
But
makes sense. That's okay. It will not make sense. Trying to make
yeah,
sense of it just produces more language, more
yeah,
complexity. Yeah.
right. It's
Yeah. It sounds
explain.
almost like the computer got reset, like a factory reset,
Yeah,
and the virus is the language, and the operating system is silence. Ah,
yeah, yeah. And my mom was in the hospital. I don't even
oh
know
no.
what time it is. I'm losing track of time and everything.
Yeah.
Always minutes, but
Is she okay?
that, yeah. So she's back home and stuff. She has a little issue, a heart
Yeah.
scare. But they were monitoring her, and
Yeah.
after it became apparent, like that, yeah, that I don't really know a whole lot about much, you know, like I guess, and all these things. Anyways, I was watching two doctors trying to analyze
Yeah.
what was wrong with her,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I've been in not that exact situation, but like at work with like two engineers trying to talk about something that in front of someone like a customer or somebody that doesn't know technically what I'm talking about, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to like BS them.
Yeah.
I had this awareness. I'm like, even these doctors, I mean, they didn't know what they were talking about. They were talking
Exactly.
back and forth,
Yeah.
and I'm like, these motherfuckers don't
Yeah.
really know what they are,
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
BS and stuff, but I could see right through it. I'm like, I've done what they're doing. They're
Yeah.
bullshitting us right now.
Yeah.
They don't know what's going on, and they're trying to just bullshit.
Yeah. It will just get clearer and clearer, right? It's almost like a cosmic prank, right? It's like, it's like you're watching a dream that not really happening, and it's almost like you will never figure it out. But at the same time, there's complexities in it, but even the complexities is just entertainment,
Yeah.
right? It's bizarre, right? It's like one time, um, my buddy and I, one of my other buddy, and he basically said he's clear, and he goes, "Does the word seem insane?" I'm like, "It is actually, right? Because people are believing their thoughts. It's insanity. They're
Yeah.
believing the language as if that's reality, and reality is just a suggestion of a language. So what's reality?" And then we look around, and everybody's just caught up in their thoughts. You know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then another thing that happened was I was watching with someone that came who I did one-on-ones with, and you know what, we just hung out. We were what Because what do you think of this? He was showing me some various, non-duality stuff, and we both bursted out laughing. And I'm like, and he goes, "Everyone is so full of shit." I'm like, "Yeah, but they believe their shit." I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And it's just all made up, right? It's all made up. The language is made up. So are we really looking at a tree, at the sun?
That's what we call it, right? I guess,
Yeah,
but who
yeah,
knows what it is?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Life becomes a playground, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I had
Yeah,
this, well, we had this big job that we were supposed to have. There's a lot of pressure to have it done before the
yeah,
end of the year. It all just fell apart. It was nothing to do
yeah.
with me. I was involved in it, but kind of, well, kind of, people languaging, I guess, as you would call it. And I got this to a point with my colleague. I'd muted myself on the conference call, and that I'm like, we just started laughing. I said, I would have never said this before, but I go, I don't even give a, I don't give a fuck. That's what I said. He goes, what do you mean you don't give a fuck? I said, this is hilarious to me that this whole thing fell apart. And this is not me. Typically, I'd be trying to save this thing and prop it
Yeah,
up, blow lights back.
yeah.
But I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I literally do not give a shit. This is hilarious.
yeah,
And I would have never said that before. But it was funny to just watch all that efforting and the thought.
yeah,
And I just kind of stepped back and
yeah,
watched it. But wow. Usually I'm
yeah,
right in the middle of it. And
yeah. I hang out with someone booked me to hang, not to hang out, but to do a one-on-one with a celebrity.
oh
And
yeah.
I was just looking at how complex that celebrity's life is. Like assistants and this and that, like like people running around. It's like a movie, literally, right? Like, what you see is I'm like, I thought this was not real. Like, and then um and then I looked at the person that I was doing one with, and I'm like, do you see how all of this is really just made up? And the person said, I don't want to believe that it's made up.
Mm,
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
well, what's between a belief and a non-belief? And the
Yeah.
celebrity goes, oh, you took me there. Fuck you.
Got it.
Because everything becomes so insignificant, right?
Yeah.
Your status, all of these assistants running around trying to whatever. And the person said, I can just easily give this up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is so insignificant. This is this is what my worry is. How do I keep this up? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
How do
Keep
I
it
keep
going.
this up? And that's a major scale. And and the person goes, I have tons of people working for me. I'm like, but is the world going to fall apart if this is not happening anymore? And he goes, well, there's no world to fall apart now.
Mm,
What's there to fall apart?
yeah.
Yeah,
It's beautiful, man.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's a whole nother scale of for that person. That really
yeah.
I guess it's similar to anybody's situation, but
Yeah, everybody's the
really
same thing. It's just like, we just have thoughts that that's better or that's worse, but all those are thoughts, right? So, there's no significance for a mega celebrity compared to, me that just walks my dog, you know what I'm saying?
mm,
Or my mom, there's really no difference if you look at it, if you take away language.
yeah.
Yeah. If you take away the
Wow.
language, there's this union of everything, and
Yes.
also the dissolution of everything. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But yet there's an appreciation for the small little things now, right? Like, oh, look at that tree, look at that leaf, look at the
Yeah.
sunshine, look at the weather, because you're not so caught up in what it should be and what your work should be looking like, or how, the people that you work with, or someone's comment that someone made a couple of nights ago, or
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just all language. It's almost like, if you want peace, you just mute.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Mute.
Yeah.
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 Simple.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Thank you
You're
for
welcome. You're welcome,
chatting.
Zach. I'm going to pause this